Hey guys, welcome everyone back to the channel. This is another video from Panama. This is actually going to be the last video from me and Sai's time down in Panama. I'm finally finding the time to edit it. Today, we're taking you on an adventure. We're headed to Colón province to visit a place that's frequented by the local Panamanians, but seldom visited by foreigners. Today, we're taking you to Isla Grande. To get to Isla Grande from Panama City, we had about a 2.5 hour drive ahead of us. We made what was at that point our routine trip over to thrifty rental car in El Cangrejo and picked up a nice new Kia Rio and hit the road. After navigating the congested streets of Sabanitas and Puerto Pilon and making it through not one but two police checkpoints, we finally made it to the beautiful, yet apparently malaria-ridden countryside. The cool part about Isla Grande is that it's actually on the Caribbean side of Panama, Panama being a country that borders both the Caribbean Sea as well as the Pacific, and the water was incredibly blue there, very similar to the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, a few places that I had been to in the Caribbean before, and definitely the vibes were very different than when we had visited a few beaches on the Pacific side of the country. So we finally made it to the parking lot of this public beach where some of the locals were hanging out, and this lady in the blue shirt was directing us. We were going to be going over to Isla Grande in one of these little boats. So we texted our Airbnb host and said that we were arriving, and she coordinated the lanchero, they call them, the boatman that can take you over to Isla Grande. So we were awaiting our boatman to get us over to the island at this point. We finally found our way over into the boat, and now it was time to go over to Isla Grande. So the group of people that we came over with on the boat, we dropped off at this first kind of main drop-off area. This is where the majority of people were staying, but we were actually staying on the far side of the island in an Airbnb in this really distinct looking turquoise house. So after we dropped them off, our lanchero had to take us to the far side of the island, and we started going through these waves, and they started getting like kind of big. I was getting a little scared, but I guess the area that we were in the boat was protected from the major waves. So anyway, we made it around the far side of the island, and we started to approach this dock by the house that we were going to be staying in. Yeah, it's too well. You could go there. Yeah, it's strong. Let's show them the apartments, Here, open. Apartamento básico. Not much to it. Yeah. Dog. Hey doggy. Hello. So as you guys can see, we had a pretty relaxing day, just chilling out on the island, going to the beach, watching the waves roll in, and I did a little research as well, and as we were walking around the island, we noticed that all the people that lived there were of African descent, which wasn't typical for the majority of people that we came across during our time in Panama. And upon doing a little bit of research, I saw that the descendants traced back hundreds of years, and they were originally African slaves that were known as the Cimarrones. And the island itself has an incredibly long and detailed history as well. It goes all the way back to 1502 when actually Christopher Columbus, a guy that we learned a lot back in our elementary school history, during his fourth and last voyage of the New World, he actually discovered the island. And in line with this African slave history, within our Airbnb, there was actually this little African doll, and I don't know for sure, I don't think it was a voodoo doll, but it was still kind of creepy because the power cut out that night with the lightning flashing, and this little doll was just sitting at the foot of our bed staring at us. So if you guys ever do make it to Isla Grande, I wouldn't recommend staying at the Turquoise House Airbnb. The power cut out, the air conditioning obviously cut out with that, and we had potentially a creepy voodoo doll staring at us all night. What I would recommend is staying at the place that we're showing you right now, the Sister Moon Eco Lodge, which we thought was really nice when we were walking around. So as you guys can see, the property of the Sister Moon itself is really nice. I'm actually on their website right now because I was curious what the rates are for one night, so we can actually take a look together. This area here, they actually have a restaurant. The food was really good. I'll post a photo of what we ate on the screen right now. It's actually the only restaurant on the north side of the island, so after, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock, we didn't really feel like going back into the town, so we went over here. Food was really good, but we had to wait, I think, over 2 hours for it. So that's just one thing to keep in mind if you guys ever stay there. We go to lodging on here. It looks like they have like individual villas, but also a room, like a deluxe room, starts at $119, simple room $88, so a shared room $22. I think we paid about $100 for our Airbnb, so we might have been able to do a little bit better by staying at the Sister Moon. So hopefully by watching this video, I don't know how many of you guys out there are ever going to end up on Isla Grande, but if you do, this is the place to stay. Just be prepared to wait on the food, but it is good. So that's it, guys. That's a wrap on Isla Grande. That's a wrap on Panama. Me and Sai had an amazing 6 months down there. Now she's back in Thailand, and I'm back in the US. We're waiting on this damn visa to get processed. Hopefully they're able to do it in a reasonable time frame. Sai, I know you'll be watching this video at home with your family. I miss you, I love you, and I'll see you soon. More adventures to come.